We're with Gaz at Big T Music.
Hello.
So you've got a whole bunch of really fascinating looking modules here.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick spin round so we can see what we're doing. So explain the ethos behind the aesthetic, because it is quite striking.
I think it's largely informed by personal taste. It started as a project for myself and nobody else really. It just kind of evolved into the sphere of other people taking a fancy to them. So yeah, I just kept making them and it's gone from there.
And I guess we should say what them actually are.
Yes, so by and large, a lot of it's open source. So we've got a number of mutable modules, some one-to-one like veils and stages, replicants. Essentially we didn't touch one-to-one stuff until Mutable kind of ended, and the demand was obviously still there, so we tried to step in and fill some of the supply. The other modules, so such as your Beehive, which is essentially a shrunken Plaits. You've got versions of rings and clouds which are expanded, and essentially the functionalities slightly changed, different firmwares on there. It's just trying to offer something a little different, even if that's just from an aesthetic standpoint. But also there's quite a lot of different functionality going on in addition to the default stuff that you used to get on mutable things.
I guess, one of the features is you've taken some of the functions that were kind of a bit hard to get to on the originals and kind of brought them out into the front panel. Yeah,
certainly on the Monsoon. I can't take credit for that reworking. As we discussed briefly earlier, I'd say a lot of it, I see myself as kind of just a small part of a collaborative effort. There's a lot of people involved, even just from the aesthetic redesign. So a friend of a friend helped me out massively. Jonathan Barnbrook helped design the Clouds replicant and the Rings replicant, which are Monsoon and Rangoon. That was, a big help actually, because I don't really come from a design background. I'm just kind of enthusiastic about this stuff. And I think maybe when you're enthusiastic about the kind of things you're making, other people pick up on that and they share that enthusiasm. It's turned into a little business really in itself.
So how did it start off? Take us back to the beginning.
I started buying and selling old analog synths, so old Junos.
It's a labour of love.
Yeah, it's some pretty old stuff. Again, I just loved it, and it was the only way for me to get my hands on it at the time, because I didn't have much money. So I could justify buying something if it was for the intention of selling it, or at least that's what I told my partner at the time. I kind of owned my soldering skills that way. I started building modules for myself. Again, I didn't have the money to buy things outright, so I built them myself. Thonk were fantastic for that, and just massively supported throughout the scene, so big shout out to them. Many years down the line, we ended up with this kind of thing, and it was just me thinking, I love the Monsoon as a module, I want to make my own, I want to do the design itself, I want to get really nice milled aluminium panels, which obviously these are black and gold FR4, we do a lot of stuff with aluminium as well. And it was just to make it as good as it possibly could be, and to try and get as close as I could to the standards Mutable was setting, especially given that we're benefiting from their designs. It just felt right to try and do it justice, really.
And where can people find more information and find your products?
We're on Instagram, Big T Music Limited, so you check us out there. Also, our friends at Slate & Ash, who are very kindly essentially distributing some of our modules on their website. Same with Elevator Sound. Fire us a message over on Instagram or gareth@slateandash.com. I'll get back to you directly. And that's the best way of reaching us.
Excellent. Many thanks, guys.
No problem.